So as we saw yesterday, that this text is called as Vedanta Dindima because it begins with and also every verse ends with Iti Vedanta Dindima. So this is the proclamation of Vedanta Shastra. So if this is the case, and these are verses, very straightforward verses, as we will be seeing. Let us chant verse number 2. Atmanatma padarthodo bhoktru bhogyatva lakshanau brahmi vatmano dehari iti Vedanta Dindima. Very nicely, if we try to look at. So what he says, there are two padarthas. So generally padartha means we say object. That's why, but here we can say there are two things that exist. So you have also a translation already. I have put it in the group chat, so you can download that translation too. So Atma and other one is called Anatma. So there are two types of, two categories. Padartha, you can say object. So that means what? If that is the case, and what are they? One is Atma, other one is called Anatma. So Atma means, let us say, me and which is not me, the self and which is not self. Only there are two things exist, nothing else. And what are they? Says beautifully, they are called bhoktru bhogyato lakshanau. So they are being characterized. So what are the characters? The characteristics that they have is, one is called bhoktru, the enjoyer. Other one is called bhogyatva lakshana, bhogya vastu iti. Other one is called object to be enjoyed. So that means there are two things that exist. One is the self, other one is not the self. They are being characterized. They are being classified. They have their own way of functioning. Or this is how we have to figure it out, know them. How? One is called bhoktru, means enjoyer. Other one is called bhogya, the object to be enjoyed. Now what is bhoktru? I am the bhoktru. The self is called enjoyer. The anatma becomes bhogya vastu, to be enjoyed. Now he says beautifully, if this is the case, how is it? Then he says, look, Brahma eva atma dehadihi na. So what is that atma? What is that self? That is, what is that me? He says Brahma eva atma iti. The Brahman that is being discussed, the ultimate truth, the reality, the totality, is the self here. And remember, when that alone, eva sabda is highlighting here, alone, Brahma eva atma, na dehadi. So that means not, even if what, deha adi means what? Starting with the body or body, etc. So generally we look at me as what? The self as what? Body, mind, complex, in short. what we call as Karya Karana Sanghata. But here is being said, look, this body mind complex, and of course the extension of body mind complex is not me. If it is not me, then what is that? This is what we have to understand very carefully. They are called Bhogya Vastu. So if they are Bhogya Vastu, object of enjoyment, so that means the body is an object of enjoyment. My body, my mind is an object of enjoyment. But what I do generally? In fact, the mind becomes enjoyer. Can you see this point? The body becomes enjoyer. How the body becomes enjoyer, you can see. Sometimes it happens, like especially this poor tongue, for 2-inch tongue, whole body suffers. So this tongue goes crazy, just 2 inches, okay? It's a very funny fellow. Just 2 inches, not bigger than this. But because this 2 inches tongue goes crazy, now this poor body suffers because I keep eating to satisfy the tongue. Finally, body starts bloating. So like that, if we try to look at, here it says, body mind complex is here Bhogya Vastu. Bhogyam iti. So why it is called Bhogyam? To be understood that, remember the concept here is Bhoktru Bhogyam, means the enjoyer and the object to be enjoyed cannot be one and same. If both of them become one and same, there cannot be any enjoyment either. That's why we say enjoyment presupposes duality. Without a sense of duality, there cannot be enjoyment either. That's why here is being said that I am Bhoktru, the enjoyer. Now this body mind complex becomes an object of enjoyment. So being an object of enjoyment or objects of enjoyment, both way you can take it, plural or singular. Now I cannot be, this is the conclusion. Wow, then Swamiji, this is what I wanted to know. Oh, that means if my body mind complex is object of enjoyment, let me enjoy. Please, who says no? Remember, enjoyment also includes suffering. Remember this. The more I enjoy, the more I should be mentally ready, if not physically at least, mentally ready to go through suffering. Because it is a package. That's why wherever there is enjoyment, there has to be suffering. But I do not know whether wherever there is suffering, there is enjoyment or not. Okay, that I cannot guarantee you. Even though technically is there, but that I cannot guarantee you. However, coming to the point here. So, looking at this, that body mind complex being Bhogyavastu, they are different from me, means I am not that. I am only Brahma eva Atma iti. I am only Brahman. So that means if I am Brahman, now any Bhogyavastu, any object of enjoyment is affected or loss or something happens, should the Bhoktru be affected? The enjoyer should be affected, unless you are a child. If you observe a child is very much possessive. Remember, your possessiveness highlights how insecure you are, how childish you are. Because a child generally will not be interested in anything. because it is unknown per child. But whatever you hand over to the child, whether it is a balloon, mainly color and form, attractive colors, or some sound, toy, anything, once you hand over to the child is not going to leave that, even if there are better things, because child does not know. And once child knows the better things, or you hand over something happens, again will not leave that because of sense of insecurity. Number one. Number two, also if you look at the child, whenever tries to hold something, completely holds. In fact, does not give any breathing space to that, including when the child holds a pet. I have seen. When a child fall in love with a pet, you cannot think of, poor pet will cry. And wherever will go, will take the pet with the child, including going to the bed, sleep with me. You understand? Poor pet suffocates. And another best example is with reference to the dress. A new dress is being given to the child. We put, what happens? Will the child remove that dress? Never. Only when the child sleeps, poor mother has to remove the dress. And again when that fellow gets up or fellow gets up, you understand, will start crying, where is my dress? So what it communicates is here, if the bhoktru is deeply attached to the bhogyavastu, if the enjoyer is deeply connected or attached to the object of enjoyment, it means the person does not see the difference that I am bhoktru and other one is bhogyam. Can you see this point? The more I see that is different, the more I will be different. So the indifference in me will take place, the attitude of indifference in me will take place. The more I see that the bhogyam is different from me. Whereas when the bhogyam subconsciously especially is part of me, it's a very nice way it works. I'll give you an example of ice cream. So ice cream is a bhogyam, definitely. Object of enjoyment. But what happens in me? There is a thought of ice cream. When there is a thought of ice cream, because I had long back, or because my friend was having, because there are many factors you can look at, or I could not afford, I saw in somewhere. Now that has gone to my subconscious mind. And because it has gone to subconscious mind, there is some type of tadatmya bhava, some type of identification, closeness. And the closeness with not me, with my insecurity, with my insecure me. That inadequate me comes to a conclusion that unless and until I have ice cream, I am not going to become good. I am not going to be okay. Even though it does not come to the forefront, it doesn't come to my it doesn't come to my conscious mind, but deep within it keeps running. Have you not observed? Then the moment I see ice cream and I have a means to it, both I need. All the time I see ice cream, but I don't have means. Even though I have means, but my throat doesn't allow. And even if my throat allows, means I have everything, but it's too cold, winter. Don't worry, some people go crazy in winter also, okay? That's another case. Because surrounding here means surrounding doesn't help. Or everything is there, but the devil whom I hate, that fellow is there. You understand? You go to stop in the ice cream shop, to whom you hate, that fellow is there. What you will do? So you will pretend, okay, thank you. You will get away. So that means this subconscious mind, because of tadatmya bhava, I am using tadatmya bhava, that oneness. Because of the proximity with my mind, with my insecure mind, there is some type of oneness. And that makes me to go for it. That's why one has to understand in each every enjoyment that all the object of enjoyment are different from me. So being they are different, I have to allow, at least I have to allow myself to see the difference. And the more I see the difference, no object of enjoyment can take me for a ride. Can you see this point? No object of enjoyment can take me for a ride. Next verse. Jnana padartho dvau. Very good. Verse number 4. What is going on? I'm not able to. I think I have done mistake. Okay. Hey. One minute. Gautam has typed wrongly. So when I am reading the text, I saw, what is this jnana? It should be jnana or jnane. Okay? So jnana, again I'm going through, what is going on, something is wrong. Doesn't matter. Good. Thank you. Jnana jnane padarthodo. Atmano mukti bandhado. Jnanat mukti nibandhunyat. Iti Vedanta Dindima. Now again it says, Iti Vedanta Dindima, it goes, okay. This is the proclamation of Vedanta. This is the announcement in Vedanta Shastra. Or these are the statements that highlights the teaching of Vedanta. And what is this? He says, look, jnana and ajnana. So there are again two categories. Dvau padartho. One is jnanam, knowledge, other one is ajnanam, ignorance. What is ignorance? Not opposite of jnanam. So ajnanam is apurna jnanam, inadequate knowledge, because it is a very important point to note. So never says ajnanam is opposite of jnanam. Like, I don't know, today I saw one beautiful post in Facebook. It's very, very interesting, okay. I have never ever seen such a intelligent post in my life. I think this is my, joke of the life, okay. Really joke of my life, I can say. So the post goes very nicely. In fact, I am trying to see, okay, if I can get to see my post, okay. Yes. One fellow writes, the moon has been given a huge importance and significance in our religion, because moon shines light at the night when we need it. Not like sun, which shines at the day, who needs light at the daytime. Once again, it is proved that our religion is the most intelligent one. Maulana, Hajur, blah blah blah. This is called, highest order of intelligence. But don't worry, there are people to listen to, okay? You see, look, now I listened, I made him listen. It's a very good thing, okay? However, there is another, this is, called sophisticated way of, that is highest order of intelligence. There are sophisticated order of intelligence. All the New Age gurus, many Swamijis also. What is Ajnanam? Opposite of Jnanam. How? It is exactly like how the andhakara, the darkness is opposite of light. So also Ajnanam is opposite of Jnanam. Very interesting statement or not? Listen to anybody, anywhere. Ajnanam is opposite of Jnanam. It's not, remember, never ever make this mistake. Ajnanam is not opposite of Jnanam. Not even if absence of Jnanam. It is only in the presence of Jnanam. Remember this. But Ajnanam is called inadequate. Apurna Jnanam iti. That apurna, that A is here Ajnanam. Not negative sense. So here is being highlighted. Dvau padartha. Again there are two categories. So one is called Jnanam, other one is called Ajnanam. So interestingly says, look, these two categories. This, it gives to Atmana, it gives, what it gives? Mukti bandhadau. So that means it gives the giver of mukti and also giver of bondage. So that means what? Jnanam gives, the knowledge gives liberation, freedom. To whom? To Atma, to one's own self. Also Ajnanam, Apurna Jnanam, inadequate knowledge gives bondage. So they give something, don't worry. So now when they gives, very nicely says, next is what? Jnanat muktihi. So because of knowledge, there is liberation. Means the liberation comes because of mukti. Liberation comes because of jnana. Anyat means because of other. Other means what? Ajnanat iti. Anyat means ajnanat. So because of ajnanam, says nirbandha iti. There is bondage. Thus, Vedanta Dindima. This is what the proclamation. In fact, in Mundaka Upanishad says, Dve Vidye Veditavye. There are two types of knowledge to be studied, to be understood. One is para, other one is apara. So one is para, the absolute. Aparam means not absolute. And it gives the list of that. When it gives that list, it's a huge list comes, including Chanda, Vakarana, Nirukta, means the grammar, Veda also, etymology, Jyotisham, astrology, all this comes under objective science. Whereas, Yaya Vidya, by the help of which Vidya, Amrutam Asnute, the immortality is being gained. That is called Para Vidya. That is called Absolute Vidya. That's why it says, always in different occasions, differently. Yaya Vidya Aksharam Adhigamyate, Amrutam Asnute. You can use any different context differently. By the help of which aksharam adhigamyate, naksharatiti, that which is imperishable, is being understood. That is called Paravidya. That is called absolute knowledge. That is called subjective science, if you want to use the word carefully. Whereas everything is called objective science. That's why we make it very carefully. We never say that objective science gives you bondage. Because generally objective science brings ego in you. The more qualifications you have, the better, stronger ego you have. So I am from Stanford. What does it mean? So I can stand anywhere and everywhere. This is the example section, that's what I am saying, okay? So I am from Bhoot. So I can be also in the Bhoot Lok, in Hindi Bhoot, okay? In ghost world. After my death, also I will be in Bhoot Lok. Just playing with the words, don't worry, okay? Namesake. So what I am trying to highlight here is, the more I have qualification, or the better qualification in the common parlance, better qualification I have, subtler and stronger ego that I have. And when I have ego, now is it the bondage or not? Remember, ego always excludes you. The more you think that you are an exclusive person, the more you are an egoist. Because most of the time you think, I am an exclusive person. Swamiji, because some people say, Swamiji, I am an exclusive person. Hey, please, your exclusiveness with you, okay? I am tired of this exclusiveness. What does it mean? Your ego. You think that I don't have anything to subscribe your ego? The moment you say that I am an exclusive person, Swamiji, you have to give me importance. What does it mean? Swamiji, you have to take care of my ego. Remember, this is the simple thing. In a relationship, don't bring me now here, Swamiji, I am taking away Swamiji, okay? Then I will come to Swamiji. In your relationship, with your friend circle, family, whatever, you have to give me importance. What does it mean? So giving importance means what? To nourish, to take care of your ego. And as long as your ego is being taken care, that long, good, nothing wrong in it. But remember, in the process you are going to destroy. I am not telling you jokes. If you want to destroy a person in your life, consciously, give more importance. Because if you give importance to a person for a length of time, mentally you have destroyed that fellow. That fellow cannot have any relationship with anybody in life, except some animals or robo. Robo also I have my own doubt, okay? Nowadays robots have got their intelligence, okay? Artificial intelligence. So that's why, whenever you ask or you demand or you look for, especially in a relationship, that I am supposed to be given importance, they are not giving me importance. What does it mean? They are not taking care of my ego. God's sake, look at this very carefully. You need to have a functional ego. Remember this. But not raw, amateur or immature ego. Unpolished ego. Nothing wrong in having functional ego. You must have. In fact, as long as body, mind is there, that long there has to be a functional ego. Nothing wrong in it. You must have. But this functional ego becomes amateur ego, strong ego. That is to be carefully looked at. So that's why it's being highlighted. Ajnanam gives ego. And because it encourages ego, it strengthens ego, it becomes the cause of the bondage. And of course, Jnanam takes care of it, destroys. And once the ego is being seen properly, automatically the person becomes free. Freedom means what? Making oneself free not from others, but making free from oneself. Knowledge never makes you free from others. Knowledge only makes you free from yourself, from your sense of bondage, from your sense of called your arrogance. The more I am able to release myself from sense of my arrogance, and of course this ahankara, the ego, the more I am a free person. And iti Vedanta Dindima. Thus is being said in scriptures, different Vedantic text. This is the proclamation. More of it we'll see tomorrow. Please close your eyes.